Hi folks, Dr. Ed Beyer here of Beyer Regenerative Medicine in Tinley Park, Illinois. You know, we use regenerative medicine, things like stem cells, hyaluronic acid, exosome therapy, different things like that to actually regenerate cartilage and broken down joints. But one of the things that we do with our patients also is we really educate them and teach them and give them things to actually control inflammation. Listen, inflammation is the name of the game. The reason why your joints are breaking down is because of inflammation. So if we can control systemic or whole body inflammation, the patient that receives a regenerative medicine treatment, whether it's stem cells, hyaluronic acid, exosomes, PRP, or whatever, is going to do much better. So we educate our patients in that. So one of the ways that we do that is we teach our patients how to eat an anti-inflammatory diet. We literally give them a list of foods that increase inflammation and a list of foods that decrease inflammation. What increases inflammation? Well, we know the real big ones like, alcohol, sugars, and things like that. Caffeine will do it. But a lot of grains will do it too, especially gluten. That will create an inflammatory environment. And when you get rid of that, the regenerative medicine and the injections that we do will work much better. Another source of inflammatory diet, folks, is so many people have food sensitivities. So the food that we eat today is very different than the food that we ate 30, 40 years ago. It's been genetically modified, wheat that's been deaminated. And so what happens is we eat these foods and it takes generations for our immune system and our gut to make changes. And so we eat these foods that are foreign to our immune system and they start to create antibodies to the foods, and that creates a whole systemic inflammation problem throughout the body and especially in the joints and in the brain too, causing things like brain fog and depression and all of that. So we educate them on that. And sometimes especially if the person is autoimmune they come to me and they're autoimmune against their joints, things like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, psoriatic arthritis, ankylosing spondylitis. The immune system's actually attacking the joints. Food sensitivities are actual trigger to the immune system in that person who's autoimmune. So we want to remove that, and sometimes we'll even do a blood test where we can measure 96 different foods, whether or not your body's forming antibodies to these foods, and then we can educate the patient on how to eliminate these for a time being. Then we give specific anti-inflammatory nutrients, things like curcumin, boswellia, green tea, celery extract, alpha-lipoic acid. We actually have a really nice formula called Caparest from Biotics Research supplement company that has 10 different natural anti-inflammatories. It works much better than any Advil or Aleve or whatever you can take to knock down inflammation. One other thing for inflammation too is we make sure that the gut microbiome is in good working order. If the gut microbiome is off, like if you have overgrowth of certain bacteria or undergrowth, then we may prescribe certain probiotics and things like that in the patient who has a lot of digestive issues, because 80% of the immune system resides in the gut. And so we have to get good gut health in order to knock down systemic inflammation so that things like stem cells, gel injections, hyaluronic acid injections, exosomes, all these things can actually work to their maximum. So this isn't being done in a lot of clinics that do regenerative medicine. We do it. And then one of the supplements that we give is chondroitin sulfate. Chondroitin sulfate is actually the building block of cartilage. So why would you not want to have extra amounts of that? If you got these stem cells that are actually regenerating, making new cartilaginous cells, you want the building blocks to be there so that can happen. So we supplement with this. However, a new study that just came out shows that chondroitin sulfate actually is a very powerful anti-inflammatory. They did a study, I think it was 1,300 people, and they followed them. And one of them, a group had taken 1,500 milligrams of chondroitin sulfate, and another group didn't, and they noticed that over time, the group that took chondroitin sulfate had almost a 40% reduction in cardiovascular disease. Something that I never knew of. It was a really cool study. So we're starting to give this to our patients who are at cardiovascular risk, but it's really good to the patient who is getting regenerative medicine done. So it's very important with regenerative medicine to control inflammation. We do our best here at Beyer Regenerative Medicine to educate our patients on how to do that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you want to receive more videos, please remember to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you know someone who could possibly benefit from regenerative medicine, please remember to share this information with them. I'm Dr. Ed Beyer. Talk to you soon.